Of the government shutdown and how it could impact you. Joining us right now is Michele Evermore. She's a senior fellow at the National Academy of Social Insurance, and she served as deputy director for policy in the Department of Labor during the Obama and Biden administrations. We should note here that she was not in the Obama administration when there was a shutdown in 2013. Michele, thanks so much for joining us today. The impacts in our area are far-reaching because of the concentration of federal workers here. Now, we don't know how long this shutdown will last, but what do you want federal workers to know right now?
There is an unemployment insurance program available to federal workers called unemployment compensation for federal employees, and you apply for that just like regular unemployment insurance. The thing is, you will have to pay it back when the shutdown ends, but people on the lower end of the income scale could really use a little bit of cash assistance, and there's a program available for you.
Are there that sounds very beneficial and immediate, which is what you need when you don't know how long a shutdown is going to last, a lot of uncertainty out there. What other financial support do you think is important for us to share with our viewers?
Well, I think people who are in dire economic need should also apply for all of the general programs that are available. SNAP, food assistance, right? If eligible, medical assistance, but those should all be findable once you start to apply for unemployment.
Now, the economic impact of this government shutdown feels like it has a potential to be very different from what we saw the last time. And one key reason is the threat of not just furloughs, but firings from the White House. How do you see it?
Yeah, we already know that it's compounded by the fact that a bunch of people took the deferred resignation. They can also think about applying for economic assistance because in some cases, if a person is unemployed through no fault of their own, they knew they were going to be fired anyway, and so they took the deferred resignation, they may be eligible for unemployment benefits.
How do you calculate the economic impact every day that this shutdown stretches on?
Well, one rule of thumb is if somebody gets an unemployment benefit, for every dollar they get, it generates $2 in local economic activity. The money people get, the checks they get, the pay that they get goes right back out into the economy. They spend it at restaurants and going to shows, buying clothes, at the hardware store. That money is no longer going to other segments of the economy. And so everybody's hurting as a result of the shutdown.
And we won't get those numbers, those typical job numbers that we count on at the end of the week. So what does that mean in terms of forecasting just how much slower the economy is going?
Another data point to look at is the number of new claims filed, and that will come out on Thursday. That won't include this week. So by next Thursday, we'll know at least how many people have tried to apply for an initial claim.
Okay. Any other economic impacts that you're tracking?
Well, really, this is not just a DC area thing. This is a nationwide problem. There are thousands of unemployed, thousands of federal workers in every single state. So, hopefully that will create the political will to correct this shutdown as soon as possible.
Michele Evermore, thank you so much for joining us today.